Zach Cole.
And I'm Tara Hansen.
Oh, we got a PLC Wednesday coming up tomorrow.
That's true. A couple early hours. What are you doing with yours?
Well, actually, I won't be getting out early. I'll actually be traveling down to Columbia for a club I'm a part of.
Oh, really? So field trip, but missing early.
Yeah,
but for what?
It's for a club I'm a part of.
Oh, club.
So,
okay.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting, very exciting. So, Science Club is still selling 3D t-shirts and t-shirts that change color in the sun. The Science Club members will be selling them during lunch, and Miss Schmidt has order forms in her room 59. They're only $15. Feeling creative? Stop in by the art club meeting after school today in room 46. Student Council is looking for underclassmen who are interested in leadership roles and who would like to run for an office or class position, representative spot. Please see Miss Puckett or Mr. Perkins for more information. If you're in need of some money, go check out the Deca TV just outside the Pirate Cove Coffee Shop for job listings in and around the Platte County area. See Miss Spores in room 34 for any questions. Do you enjoy being challenged mentally and answering tough questions? If so, head over to the Academic Bowl meeting after school today in room 56. A tough question we all need answered is what the weather will be like for the next few days. In that case, let's send it over to Annalise for sports and weather.
Thanks, Zach. I know you're all wondering what the weather looks like for today, and the answer is warm. The high for today is going to be a promising 83. Tonight's only supposed to cool down a little to 56, but with some severe thunderstorms. And tomorrow's looking warm as well with the high of 78. In sports news, JV and varsity golf both took first place yesterday at the Grain Valley Invitational against 12 other teams. They both have a match against Smithville on Wednesday at Paradise Point Golf Course starting at 3:45. Varsity baseball lost a close one last night against Belton with a final score of 5-4. JV will play at home tonight for a chance to get that win. Boys tennis conference matches that were supposed to be yesterday got postponed, but there will be a JV and varsity match today at North Kansas City High School at 4. Also at 4, there will be a varsity track meet at Grandview. Starting at 5 tonight, girls soccer will be playing one of the biggest rivals. That's right, it's Kearney. JV first and varsity right after. And if that isn't enough soccer for you, don't worry. Tomorrow they will play Belton at home. Speaking of Kearney, C-Team Baseball will play Kearney tomorrow at home. Game starts at 4. On Thursday, band students will be traveling to Northwest to compete at state large group contests. Make sure to wish them good luck. Speaking of music, we have a Take 5. Question is, what is Matthew Hoosier's favorite song? The answer is Warriors by Imagine Dragons. There are plenty of chances to support Pirate athletes in the next couple of days, so make sure to go out and show that you care. That's all I have for sports and weather. Back to you, Tara.
Thanks, Annalise. With sports on the mind, let's look into the staff that captures each action shot. If you are on the yearbook staff, practice your smiles. You have a group picture in the Wilson Auditorium today. Also, if you're in Anime Club, Art Club, Cappies, Character Council, Chess Club, Fashion Club, TSA, Vex Robotics, or Thespians, surprise, you have pictures today during seminar as well. With more surprises in the air, all juniors and seniors are to report to their seminars this Thursday for a brief prom meeting in the coffee shop. That includes gold cards as well. Journalists, you will be seeing Gold and Black soon. That's right, J-Day at MU is tomorrow. Be at the school bright and early so you don't miss the bus that leaves at 6 a.m. with money for lunch in hand. If you're interested in journalism, the PCTV News is looking to add members next year. Apply online at MrBreitenstein.com. Seniors, keep in mind you can still apply for scholarships, and the REMAX scholarship has been extended to April 15th. If you're not graduating, stop by the office for summer school and driver's ed forms. Alrighty, if you're not interested in summer school, maybe you're interested in birthdays. Happy birthday today to Joshua Herrera and Joshua Payne.
And tomorrow's birthdays are Zach Erminger, Britton Jorgensen, and Shayna Taylor. Happy birthday, guys.
Starbucks employees are celebrating as Starbucks is offering full tuition to Arizona State's online program to earn a bachelor's degree. Now employees have the opportunity to get caffeine and an education for the ultimate win.
Well, speaking of wins, the Kansas City Royals are currently undefeated so far this season. Yesterday, the Royals took on the Chicago White Sox at home, and the home opener, the final score of the game was 10-1. They play again tomorrow at Kauffman Stadium. I can already hear the postseason calling our name.
Yeah, and what else can I hear? I hear those Duke fans that are shouting out. Duke clinched their 5th NCAA men's basketball crown with a 68-63 win over Wisconsin. Hopefully everyone's brackets were successful, otherwise you may be in a little trouble.
Well, speaking of trouble, President Obama had a little trouble at the White House annual Easter egg hunt this weekend. A few children started screaming and getting restless because of a honeybee that was flying around while he was reading the children's book, Where the Wild Things Grow. President Obama knew what to do, however, by calming the children down, mainly because Republicans had the same reaction when he was reading the Obamacare bill to Congress.
Along with Republican tears, many were emotionally distraught after Fast and Furious 7 aired over the weekend. The movie earned a record $146 million and brought on the tears as Walker's final scenes used body doubles, computer-generated images, and the late actor's brothers.
Well, the Walker brothers aren't the only siblings becoming famous. Jeb Bush, George W. Bush's brother, was following closely in the former president's footsteps. The likely 2016 Republican presidential candidate laughed off a recently discovered 2009 voter registration form in which he checked Hispanic for his ethnicity. Mr. Bush is not likely to receive legal repercussion for his mistake, just some hard criticism from Democrats.
Hey, speaking of election, today is voting day.
It is voting day, man. Hit those polls if you're eligible to vote. It'd be good.
Yeah, and also at the polls today, you will find the newly proposed school levy. And there are many things proposed in this levy, and one thing that seems to be buzzing in the halls at PCHS is the parking issue. With more on the story, here's Nathan Straubel.
Nobody would get to school without transportation, and many students arrive here by driving. Those driving to school have to have a parking pass, but that doesn't stop them from stealing a spot, which creates a daily battle for parking in the ever-small lots. A problem that wouldn't occur if everyone parked where they're supposed to, but sometimes rules are only there for the people that set them. In this case, the rules are:
if it's marked on the pavement, reserved, that is for staff. Okay, it's not for the student body. We also have it designated for the green parking lot on the north end, and the yellow tags are on the south end. That's also enforced. Anytime that you go someplace and take a spot, it creates a domino effect. Now, if you go and park in a reserved spot, that person can't park there. So where does that person go? To somebody else's spot.
with every set of rules comes repercussions for not adhering to the guidelines.
First time will be that warning. Second time parking violators will receive 30 school days suspension parking privileges. Third time parking violators will be terminated from parking for the remainder of the school year.
With the idea of punishments looming over one's head, some students still choose to park where they're not supposed to, and that makes some other students quite frustrated.
Last year it was really frustrating because, for one, a lot of people parked there that didn't pay for a pass, and I paid for mine. And then another thing was I don't get to school really early.
I'm always late to school, so I have to park really far back in the lot.
I was always one of the last people there, and I didn't always have a spot.
I've had to park in a reserved spot once because there's no parking spaces.
It is more forgivable if one is to park in a reserved spot when there is no other choice. However, it's still breaking the rules. But many students use that spot to get closer to the school.
It makes me really angry, especially when I get here and I'm trying to go and find a parking spot and there's someone that just zooms right on into a reserved parking spot.
From parking in reserved spots to parking without passes, students see and do it all.
There are people taking spots like the sophomores that don't have passes, like junior parking lot passes, and it's a bit frustrating, but I don't really mind. It's not that bad of a walk. Except like today it's pretty cold, so it would make me mad.
It seems like those who are not eager to get to school 20 minutes early have a hard time finding a spot and have to face whatever weather that day brings on the long truck to the building. Both sides, which are restricting parking to those who are of age and paid the fee, versus allowing freedom of parking, have valid arguments. One side being more orderly, because not everyone can park on the school grounds. There's just not enough room. And it is also more fair to those who paid the small for most amount of
$25.
But not everyone sees it that way.
Well, I have a driver's license, but I don't have a parking pass. It kind of sucks because I waited 16 years to get my license and I can't even park at school.
Whatever side of the argument you are on, just know that there are repercussions to parking in a reserved spot or without a pass. Know also that if you wait your turn, you won't be happy when you're a senior with people taking your spots and having nowhere to park. This is Nathan Straubel reporting for PCTV News.
Well, thanks for that insight, Nathan. That was really, really good. Really good.
Boy, I'm glad we have spots.
I am too. I am too.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we have for today, Pirates.
Thanks for watching PCTV News.
Does it look like my eyes are looking at it when I'm like looking at the screen? Oh.
5, 4, 3, quick.
Good morning, Pirates, and welcome to PCTV News. I'm Erin. If you are interested in going to summer school or plan on participating in the driver's education class, the enrollment forms are at Platte County School District. Students, are you going to prom? If so, you will need to know prom will be on April 18th from 8 to 11 p.m. at the Arrowhead Stadium. Each student will have a free parking pass that evening. Seniors will be let in free of charge. Juniors, tickets will be sold starting at April 10th before school and after school in the Welcome Center. Ticket prices are $50 for juniors and $25 for the invited person. The PTSA is organizing the Junior-Senior After Prom event, which will begin directly after prom ends from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. at the North Kansas City YMCA. It will be at $5 charge at the door. Juniors, there will be a prom planning meeting each Tuesday after school in room 54, so come out and help out. Boys, are you going to prom? If so, rent a tux from Men's Warehouse. There will be and our PTSA will get a $5 kickback for each tuxedo. Now let's send it over to me for some sports and weather. Thanks, Erin. Boys tennis beat Wintaka 6-3 on April 2nd. Boys golf won a match against Grand Valley yesterday. There will be a varsity track meet at Grandview starting at 4 p.m. today. The varsity girls soccer team will have a game against Kearney at 6:30. The Kansas City Royals are back, facing the Chicago White Sox last night with a smashing win 10-1. Now moving on to the weather. Today's weather will be humid with a high of 83, and tonight will be cloudy and drop down to 56 degrees, and tomorrow there will be scattered thunderstorms with a high of 78 degrees. Back to you, Erin. The First family hosted an Easter egg roll. The day's activities encourage healthy eating and active lives in support of Michelle Obama's Let's Move initiative. Wisconsin and Duke played for the national title last night. Duke won 68-63. On Easter Sunday, Dwayne Johnson had an emotional encounter with Nick Miller, a young man fighting cancer. The Furious 7 star admitted moved by the teenage tales, posting a picture of the two meeting onto Instagram. Voters in Fergus, Missouri go to the polls today with an opportunity to put as many as 3 African Americans on the city council for the first time in history in St. Louis suburbs. That's all the news we have for today. Have a fabulous day, Pirates.